Hello and welcome everybody once again to your finest of the fine podcast, the Chuck Stew Show. And once again, it is me, the leader and the king of the Chuck Stewians, and the person who's going to be taking down Hillary Clinton, even though she got the nomination, she's still a bitch, Chuck Stew. And right here, as always, the man who is sort of dating Letty, we're not exactly sure. He is the one that calls it right down the middle, and you are going to get it right in your face with 4 knuckles. Dr. Pearl's Houston Book.
Come shots are easy here at the Chuck Stew Show. My name is Dr. Pearl's Houston Book, a.k.a. your boy with all the AKAs, a.k.a. Red Hefner, a.k.a. Blue Hefner, a.k.a. Hot Rod, a.k.a. Dr. Neil Savage, snap into a pussy. So, Chuck, we've been doing the NXT show for the last couple months. Well, it's really been for about a month. And now there is no NXT show to review, so what are we going to do?
We're going to be going back to talking about the politics for a little bit here. So, when it comes to Chuck Stew Show, we've actually not been talking about politics or conspiracy theories. We've talked about a lot about wrestling. It's just, to me, it's like second nature to Chuck Stew. I can talk a whole lot about the aspects of wrestling. I can break down the moves. I can tell you, give you the insider information. Actually, Dr. Book here gives you the inside information, but I can call those fucking moves. And so, Dr. Pearl's the Book, I was telling you this week on the phone about 5 days ago, look, the wrestling thing's getting over really well. We're watching the NXT, and we watched the end, and Samoa Joe was still the champion, and now my team, short of wearing no flips, just fists, won the tag team championships, but something even more fucking crazy had just happened. Shillary Clinton has possibly just won the nomination, and it disgusted me to the point of tears, my stinking tears. And Dr. Pearl's Houston Book, let me get your opinion on, well, when it comes to the realm of politics, what the fuck's been going on lately?
Well, let me just tell you, there's been a lot of corruption going on, because you can obviously tell. You go on any major mainstream news site like CNN or Yahoo or AP, whatever the fuck they are, and they're all pushing for Hillary. They've been pushing for Hillary since the beginning. I can tell you that I've never met in person one Hillary supporter. I can't say I've met one. Everyone I know is a Bernie or Trump supporter. Just regardless. It's just one of those. No one ever is a fan of Hillary. No one is. But yet somehow she keeps on winning. How is this? How is this that happens? Well, let me tell you something. All right, so they have this thing called the superdelegates, and they're, for some reason they're just like these faceless corporations that get to vote for God knows what. I mean, I thought this was a democracy that all the Americans get to vote, but apparently there's these superdelegates that have all this power. So there's these random people that get to vote. That's cool, whatever. But they pledged to Hillary Clinton way long ago, and that's what they've been including in her votes. So they've been including fake people that haven't even been voted in her votes, and that's
what you're saying, Book, is the dead are voting and they're voting Republican.
Well, not exactly. They're voting Democratic, but either way, the dead are voting, and they're voting Hillary Clinton.
Shillary Clinton, she might as well be a fucking Republican.
She might as well.
Might as well be. So there was actually this big thing that NPR is let go recently of the whole thing of the conspiracy to voting, where a lot of people, or actually a lot of networks are already declaring that Shillary had won the state in Democratic voting to the state of Arizona, which is where the Chuck Stew Show is made in for our podcast, even though we didn't fucking get to vote. So, Dr. Pearls, why wasn't Chuck Stew and yourself able to vote in this to have Bernie Sanders instead of Hillary?
Well, the reason is because Arizona itself has a closed primary, and by that, it basically means that anyone that is not registered as one of the two major parties does not get to vote. Personally, it doesn't make much fucking sense, because anyone in our generation, Chuck Stew and Dr. Pearls' generation, is not going to be part of one of the partisan parties, because they're both fucking bullshit. So both Chuck and I are independent, we're anarchists, we're fucking Green Party, we're whatever the fuck you want us to be, but we're not Republican or Democrat. That shit's bollocks, that shit's bullshit, that shit doesn't make sense anymore. So we decided to be independent, and yet they won't let us vote in the primaries. Why? Just because there's some archaic fucking rule, and that's just how it is. And a lot of other states are like this too, including New York State, who is one of the most populous states in the country. oh, what a surprise, Hillary won there too. Oh, what a surprise. And I have to tell you, New York's even worse than Arizona, because here in Arizona we can change our registration to be Republican, Democrat at any time and still vote. In New York, you had to be a Republican or Democrat last October in order to vote. So if it was November of last year and you decided you wanted to be a Bernie supporter, you were too late. You couldn't vote. Sorry. You couldn't change. So it was a complete bullshit. That's one of the things that they're calling as the reason for Hillary winning, is because there's all these fucking rules that are just catered towards her. But yet there's none that are catered towards Bernie. So what does that sound like? Something that's fair to you? No, it doesn't to me.
No, it doesn't sound as fair. And I already said this on the podcast before. 4 out of 5 major networks, when it comes to news blogs, news sites, and news channels, have all been saying that Hillary's been winning all of these fights and all these races, when Bernie has actually been keeping up with her, even to the point where it's getting even in certain states. Within the last, 4 to 5 months, he was actually been keeping up with her. But even Shillary Clinton has been said that she already won the nomination, that Obama is going to be pushing her to become the next president, and all these things, when it's not even actual facts. It's never been fucking... when it comes to the mainstream media, it's gotten so bad to the point where we're not even able to trust these people. We're not even... That's what Milo Yiannopoulos said. When it comes to journalism in America, and especially American politics, you can't fucking trust anybody. If it's on the Fox News Network, it's on MSNBC, if it's going to basically anywhere that's on basic cable television, even their websites of CNN, and all those different fucking corporations, they're all pushing Hillary because they said, bitch, bow down, and she said okay because she took a fucking pay cut of how much it was, of whatever dark money it was. And Dr. Pearl, did you hear about Mark Zuckerberg giving to Hillary Clinton's fucking super PAC? Did you hear about that? But he gave an undisclosed amount of money.
Yeah, it's undisclosed dark money. Mark Zuckerberg's a fuck and a half, and I don't give a fuck if you were some smart dude that created Facebook. You shouldn't be supporting some bullshit. Facebook, you seem like a smart guy, so why the fuck are you supporting Hillary? It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg, I watched The Social Experiment or The Social Network, whatever that movie was.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie. I don't know if it depicted your life well when it came to making Facebook. Personally, I don't really give a fuck, because Facebook's pretty fucking stupid to begin with. But Shillary is going to be getting the votes, even though she's not really getting the votes. She's been cheating. She's got caught in these fucking conspiracy theories. Going back to the Clinton administration, back in 1994, did you know, Pearls, that Bill Clinton has actually sexually assaulted 4 different women that have worked at the White House? But it said in the Hillary, the movie documentary that I saw that was put out by Anonymous, and these were all proven sources with evidence. And she never went to court once. She had to talk to fucking FBI agents and all that different shit. And it's not even a trail where we have to go back before the year 2000. Shit is still happening. She's still getting inside it, and she's still being asked by authorities, what the fuck are you doing? And still, no jail time. Still, not going before a judge. Still, basically doing whatever the fuck she wants to do, and she's going to end up being the next president because no one's going to fucking vote for Trump. So, this is scary. What we were saying last year, because now Chuck Stew, what's that date say, 6/10? Chuck Stew's actually been up for a year now. We've been around for a year, and we said that Dr. Ben Carson or Bernie Sanders was the 2 people we're going to be voting for. Even though Ben Sanders is fucking on my car, and the fucking black guy with the picture of Jesus on his wall he is not in the race anymore. I still have that on my car of, I call myself a Christian, okay? So, we're talking about here that Trump, the guy that everybody was laughing about, they've been laughing at, the fucking racist, the fucking bigot, the fucking maniac, is going against Hillary Clinton, the one who's been caught in, I don't know how many fucking lies already. She's been spending, I don't know how much money that she didn't earn, and she's not even going to go before a judge for stealing all this fucking money. The people that gave her the money went before judges, and everybody she worked with, did you know in the Clinton administration, they're all in fucking jail now? Did you know that?
I did, and you know what? I got to quote The Simpsons, this is America. We do not imprison our celebrities.
No.
Or our politicians. And honestly, this whole democracy thing has gotten out of hand. It's gotten to the point where it doesn't work anymore. And I Personally, I went to Cambridge in London. I experienced the monarchy firsthand for several years, and I never had any problems. The Queen's always chill. She's pretty chill. I met her a couple times. She never talked shit to me, and so that's cool with me. Whatever. I enjoyed living in London, and that was just how it is. But America's my home country, and I gotta say I'm kind of disgusted with the way things are going. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Hillary supporter. I think Bernie at the best is probably the best choice we have. So I'm probably going to write him in, honestly, because we're looking at a Trump and Hillary ticket in the presidency in a couple months, and I'm going to vote in fucking Bernie because I'm going to write his ass in. And if he ends up being the vice presidential candidate for Hillary, which is going to disgust me, we'll probably just write in I'll write in like Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, because I don't give a fuck. Like a fake character would be a better choice than that. I'll vote. I'll write in a water cooler. Going back to the Simpsons again, the Republicans chose a water cooler as their fucking candidate, and it's a better choice than what we got. I'm just saying.
God shank the Queen. We will be right back.
This is Dr. Pearl's Houston book from the Chuck Stew Show, and let me tell you something. Smith & Forge hard cider. That's something we should be talking about, right? I don't hear many people talking about it. I gotta tell you, because Smith & Forge is the current sponsored drink of Chuck Stew. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that I like the drink. I chose Smith & Forge myself, personally. And let me tell you why. It's because it's got that smooth taste. It's got that good content. And it really takes care of me during these long episodes. We're looking at a long night here at the Chuck Stew Show. And the Smith & Forge hard cider, it keeps me going. Keeps me feeling good. And let me tell you, it tastes really fucking good, too. For all you fucks that are, done with the Coors, done with the Bud Lights, go with Smith & Forge. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a good tasting drink, and it's going to get you drunk. And, it's just going to do what it needs to for you. So I'm just going to tell you right now, Dr. Pearl's here for the Chuck Stew Show. Go buy your Smith & Forge at a local establishment, and always drink responsibly. Thank you.
Hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Chuck Stew. Take a load off. Take your shoes and socks off. Put down that book. I'm going to talk to you about Game Boy Advances. I'm not even going to talk to you about Game Boy Advances because there's a much fuckier system. There's a cucked up system called Tiger Electronic Systems. And Tiger, it's so fucky. It's so cucked. And you know who made these Tiger Electronic Systems back in the early 80s? Mid and not 90s?
Who made them?
Sean Fucky.
Who's Sean Fucky?
Tiger Electronics was made by Sean Stu Fucky.
Who's that?
Hello and welcome back to the Chuck Stew Show. Once again, my host is Dr. Book. I'm Chuck. Shit.
Oh, we're live here on the Chuck Stew Show. Chuck needs to compose himself.
I'm supposed to go into work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Evan, if you're listening to this, I'm not even flattered that you put me in at 4 because you hardly give me hours. And when the second day you want me to come into work, it's 4 a.m. Who are you? Sean Fucky? Evan Stu Fucky?
Evan Stu Fucky.
That's Slave Way. We're not talking about Slave Way right now. We're talking about the political race. Donald Trump actually, did he beat Mark Rubio for the nomination? Even though Mark Rubio said that he is also not going to quit the race. He is going to stay in the race. Mark Rubio, and he's...
That motherfucker's out.
My Dr. Jugs, male gynecologist, said that Mitt Romney's going to, Tom Cruise in Top Gun, he's going to swoop out of nowhere and he's going to take away the votes from Trump. I don't really see that happening.
That's not going to happen.
So, Donald Trump, he just won the nomination, in New York or some shit? Last week or something?
He won the nomination months ago.
He did?
Yeah, seriously, there have been no good Republican candidates. Honestly, I couldn't name you a better...
Jeb Bush.
That's it. This show's over. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, but I'm saying that there have been no good Republican candidates, honestly. There have been no good candidates. We're talking Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, like Ben Carson. Like, come on, all these fucks are like losers. They're mama's bred losers. And Donald Trump, honestly, he's the best out of them, and that's sad. That's really sad. That of all the Republican choices that we had this year, Donald Trump was the best one.
He's not even really a Republican. He's not. He didn't come up as a comptroller all the way up to fucking trying to be the. He wasn't even a mayor. He didn't do anything. He was on The Apprentice.
The fucking cuck ass Republican, not even a Republican, is the Republican nominee. So it doesn't make much fucking sense. Of course, here at the Chuck Stew Show months ago, we reported that Donald Trump was in fact a secret Democrat and he was running for the Clintons.
About 2 or 3 months ago.
And here we are when it's the main presidential nominations. It's going to be Trump versus Clinton. Just watch. Trump's going to back out and say, oh, Clinton's the only choice. I'm resigning. And then what is the Republicans going to do? It's going to be a firestorm, the first of its kind in the history of America.
Tornadoes of blood.
I don't know. I couldn't even imagine. There are going to be so many people hating on Donald Trump. He's going to be the most hated man in the world. But he doesn't give a fuck because he's still rich. He's still richer than all of us put together. All the listeners of Chuck Stew, all the dozens and dozens of fans of the Chuck Stew, he's richer than all of us will ever hope to be. So it doesn't fucking matter to him. But
no, it doesn't.
The sad thing is that we're still voting for him, even though despite all the things he said, despite all of his crazy comments, he's still the nominee. Same thing for Hillary. All the crazy shit she's done, all the criminal shit she's done.
She should have been put in prison several times.
Think about it. We're talking like 2 criminals here are running for the presidency, and America was duped into it, and we're still pushing it. So I don't know what to say, honestly. I'm seriously probably gonna move back to Cambridge. I'm gonna probably take a teaching position there because I just can't do it anymore.
We can't do it. And let me go ahead and take the steering wheel and switch gears here because 2 days ago on June 8th of 2016, Dr. Book was actually quoted by the famous ECW wrestler who was the heart and soul, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer, by stating that Finn Balor is the new Jeff Hardy. Just to switch gears back to the NXT version of the Chuck Stew Show we've been doing for the last 5 weeks, just want to say that really quick. And also, one more thing. Chuck Stew actually reached out to Mark Foster. He put out a new picture of him with a bunch of Indians, and he's wearing a wacky hat. And I said to him, and a bunch of people liked it on Twitter, saying, where I at? Okay, so I said, Mark, how about you stop world traveling and just work on the damn album? And people liked it. So, Dr. Buck, just to switch gears from politics to wrestling really quick because, well, we can do that. Where you said that Finn Balor is going to be the next Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy is not Jeff Hardy in TNA, he's Willow. Or there's several incarnations of Willow that came out of his subconsciousness. And Matt Hardy is now dressing like Beethoven, but he's got a blonde streak in his hair like Seth Rollins. So, Dr. Book, what do you think on Finn Balor losing the title reign?
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, the most recent pay-per-view was NXT Takeover The End on Wednesday. And we watched it live. We recorded it live. And honestly, the main event was the cage match between Samoa Joe, who was the champion, and Finn Balor, who was the contender. Now, I have to tell you, I never once believed that Finn would win the title that night, because Wednesday, yeah, because I am under the full assumption that Vince McMahon does, in fact, want to bring him up to the main roster. Recently, information has been released that Finn and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to be in a program together on NXT, which is going to be a fantastic matches. I can't wait for those matches to occur, because as you know, here at the Chuck Stew Show, we are huge Shinsuke Nakamura fans. We want him and Finn Balor to headline WrestleMania next year, and we still believe it can happen. But I'm looking forward to this program. I know that eventually Finn's going to go to the main roster, American Alpha's going to the main roster, Dash and Dawson, the Revival, are going to go to there. Right now, Dash and Dawson are the NXT Tag Champions. Well-deserved. Anyone who watched the TakeOver The End pay-per-view saw their match. I'm sure you loved it. If you haven't seen it, just go watch that fucking match because it was amazing match. Technical, great spots. Me and Chuck were just yelling and screaming, hollering and hooting the whole time. The whole time we were just so excited. I would say I'm more of a fan of American Alpha. He's more of a fan of the Revival. We love both teams, and we love the ending. It's just a great match, and I encourage you to watch it. As for Finn Balor, I do agree. I agree with Tommy Dreamer. I said it first. He's the next Jeff Hardy. You put him on the main roster, the kids will go ape shit. The kids will buy his merch. The kids will buy his action figures. The kids will fucking suck his dick because he is an awesome character. He paints his own body. He has a great gimmick.
He's a giant mouth.
He's a giant mouth most of the time, but that mouth is one I like to suck. So I'm
what that mouth do?
What that mouth do, though, Finn? That mouth brings in money. That's what it does.
Tag team division's back, and Hillary, you're going to hell. We'll be right back.
Hey kids, Dr. Pearl's Houston Book here. Do you want a great action playing on your Nintendo 64? Well, I got a good game for you. It's called Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey.
3D
Whoa, man, whoa! Wayne Gretzky. This is real-time hockey action. Score 10,000 goals a game because you are a great fucking goal. But just make sure that you play better than your other team because your goalie sucks ass and he will let in 10,000 goals.
Because if you want to pick Phoenix, the goalie will suck the shit out of every player.
So be careful. Don't pick Phoenix unless you want to get your ass handed to you. But play as the Brothers Cuck. Also, Wayne Gretzky's available in the game.
Eastwood and Drake.
Eastwood and Drake. They're the best characters in the game, so pick them. But Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey on the Nintendo Entertainment System 64 is the best kind of fucking game you should get. So this is
It came out in 98.
Dr. 96. Dr. Pearl's Houston Book here telling you to play some old-ass games. I do. We're back here on the Chuck Stew Show. My name is Dr. Pearl's Houston Book, and I'm going to get a drink. Oh, wait, Chuck's getting a drink, too, so I guess I got to stay on the line real quick. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
So... let's get back to the whole...
I got a drink right here.
Don't try to make jokes. Okay, so we were actually watching some fight videos, and Hillary Clinton, she should have been gone to jail at this point. I'm just saying, I know we're starting to beat a dead horse with a big stick, but I'm personally just saying here, she's going to win the nomination, and nobody fucking wants it. We need to go to a stateless society. That's what I personally believe in when you come in and tune in to the Chuck Stew Show. We've been around for a year now. We're almost coming to the point where we are one of the biggest things in Tucson, Arizona, because if you ever come to Tucson or you read about Tucson or you've seen Tucson on Facebook, it ain't nothing but fuckery. So when the name Chuck Stew comes around, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a podcast. Oh, they're against Hillary Clinton. They're against the Democrat. They're against the Spendocrats and the fucking Republic Nazis. So, and they're against the feminazis, too. And they're against the hardcore men's rights activists where they want to take off women's heads and treat them like puppets. So, what I'm basically saying here is that the anarchy is run through a stateless society. And even though we have leaders, we are going to choose to not have any politicians. If you make more than fucking $100,000 a year, you make more than fucking $80,000 a year in the fucking, we ain't even going to have a government here. It's just going to be completely white, like just fire all around it. I mean, if we had the rights where it wouldn't be illegal, we would rise up and put Trump on a fucking stake and slay his ass. And we're going to do that with Obama and all the other fucks of the 2/3 that are millionaires, that are fucking politicians in the fucking Congress government. How about fuck all you people? I want anarchy. I want a stateless society. Look up Noam Chomsky. Look up Dr. Pearl's Houston Book. We want that. We want free booze. We don't want, no. But I want some cigars. And that's what we're trying to fucking push with this show right now, okay? That's why I feel that we need to go back to this. To go back to this medium for just a little bit, to tell you people what you need to hear in a podcast. Ass kicking, take no names, take the hell and beat out of whoever's in front of you. And let me tell you something. Hillary Clinton, I beat your ass to a fucking oblivion. I beat your ass to obliquity. And I'm taking a fucking rest to the fucking Clinton family. And I'm going to tell you something. You keep your fucking mouth shut. No one tell me that the franchise Shane Douglas right here, Chuck Stew, is going to be silenced anywhere or anytime as long as I'm on this podcast.
All right, Chuck. You're doing good, buddy. All right. So we want to thank all of you fans for listening to the Chuck Stew Show.
It's great to hear.
It's great to hear from you. All the dozens and dozens of Chuck Stew's fans. We appreciate your input to our show, even though none of you ever comment on any of our videos. So it's like, how do we even know you're listening? I mean, all of our listeners are probably just guys that accidentally click on our videos and then they back out. So it counts as a view, but they didn't really listen to anything.
We're like, oh, wait a minute, this is truth. Oh, fuck, and they get off.
Yeah, because
truth, I ain't fuck with that.
Yeah, they're Clinton supporters, and they're like, oh, I can't handle this, so I'm not gonna fucking deal with it.
And Milo Yiannopoulos, we're so sorry, because I know how much you love Daddy. And we're sorry we want Bernie to win this.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, honestly, I can't support Donald Trump. I think there's too many things that he's done and said. I can't support it. It's just it makes a mockery of the entire American system that celebrity can go in and win the presidency. It's just
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I couldn't imagine. Well, he can't win just because he wasn't born here, but
he was mayor of California.
Yeah, but the presidency requires that you are born here, so that's the only caveat to him. But the thing is that we're probably laughing stocks of other countries right now because they're looking.
You've been saying that for the last 6 months.
They're looking at the American news and seeing that Donald Trump is our number one political candidate, and it's they're just oh, Donald Trump, wasn't he on TV? It's just a joke, and I gotta say, I'm kind of sad about it. I wish that our country was a little bit better than it is, but...
Dr. Buck, can you honestly say that you're proud to be an American?
I can't anymore, honestly. I'm really
Not since this show.
Not since this show, really. And we've been on the air for over a year now. And ever since the beginning of our show, when we were talking about medical marijuana, and we had crazy guests that were advocating drug use, things haven't been the same, and ever this presidential election is kind of it's kind of opened my eyes really to the shittiness of this country. I appreciate all the freedoms we have and everything, but in terms of the government, we're really bad. We're at a new low this year, and I want all. If anybody's listening, the couple people that actually listen to this in full, I think you should write some letters. Write some letters to your local government, local congressman. Write some letters to the Senate. Try to just let them know that you're kind of disappointed with everything. Because I know you feel the same way I do. You're just looking at this political race and you're just like, what the hell is going on? What do I do? I have two shitty-ass choices to choose from now because Bernie's basically out, even though he's still in and even though I'll still support him. If he doesn't have the national party's backing, it's just in this country, that's a death wish. So you have to have a Democrat or a Republican Party backing you or else you ain't shit because that's just how, the fat cats want it. They want their big candidates to win, and if not, then you're screwed. So I just want you to write to your candidates, write to your congressman and Senate, and just let them know how disappointed you are.
Once again, I am Chuck Stew, and to just add to the downer note that Dr. Book has just given, I'm going to go ahead and push that down even further into the abyss because I've already known, being on this show for a year, they've been going back to my childhood that our country was fucked. I've already known it was fucked. My dad was saying it was fucked when I was a kid, and I believe it's fucked now. You got to have a lot of money, and you got to have Satan in the mix. And if you got those two things, and you can fucking win anything. True. So everything in the government is built on lies, everything's built on mistrust, and everything's a fucking deception. And that's just how it goes for the American system. I'm not proud to be an American. I signed up to get another job even though I fucking graduated college and I got all my hours cut. Same thing with Dr. Probst. He has to go back to Cambridge because he tried to fucking make an honest living after graduating college. He's living at his fucking parents' house. Thank you, America. So I'm going to go ahead and say, if you support our country, we like to say God bless you if you're doing it the right way. But for everybody else who thinks you can make it on the American dream, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to work. Thank you for listening.